This blog is me reflecting on my blog that I made following Eisenstein and recreating montage. I chose the setting of, or the storyline of A Day in the Life to surround the montage because I like the idea of having a storyline to my montage and having something to surround it rather than just a simple video showing montage. I wanted to have a more creative approach towards it. One important aspect that I definitely noticed on the bus was that I was trying to film something that was actuality rather than a created text. So trying to document things that were real without having to direct them or make it my idea was definitely very difficult. And especially when with my mindset towards documentaries was that I wanted to make it more creative, especially with my editing. It's definitely very hard then to step back and let what would actually happen. So with my friend, I just asked her on the bus if she could do what she usually would do on the bus, except I would film it. And obviously that does raise the question is whether what you're filming actuality or not, because obviously you have the idea that people would act up for camera. But all in all, just simply like recording my friend sitting on the bus, putting her headphones in, it's definitely actuality, and it wasn't directed or heavily directed at all. So yeah, once again you can see that in the beginning 22 seconds I had incorporated a cut from black and a match cut. And honestly the match cut was one reason I included it was in order to be creative with my editing, and another way was I was thinking about how I could move from being on the bus to then in school or my friend. And so I just thought of different ways I could do that, and then the match cut seemed quite fitting because it allowed me to bypass I guess time, which would obviously was very helpful. Equally, the sound, I wanted to incorporate music, even though Eisenstein's films were all silent. You know, looking at just ways of conveying emotion and drama without having words. I wanted to use both the soundtrack and shot types and editing, obviously, to convey emotion. And I think that's definitely prevalent within the montage. So just using the sound really did help me, especially seeing as there was no dialogue in this. Obviously there's an issue of continuity here. I did film these scenes at different times of the day, so obviously you can see that before she walked through the door she was wearing a jumper, and as she sat down she wasn't. And to be honest, obviously that is a bit of a mistake, but my main focus wasn't to do with continuity. If she was walking through that door and she wasn't wearing a jumper and I told her to put one on, then you would question whether you were actually then documenting actuality, because I would have directed her to do something. Paintings on the tomb, they do the stand down. And then obviously the montage begins, and I have a different friend putting toast in, because these are filmed at different parts of the day. Don't you know, if they move you and the music fades, and then obviously the very characteristic way of building tension is a clock ticking. And I just wanted to convey the idea that it was going to be a very dramatic scene. So yeah. And then there was a sort of visual match cut between my friend getting up and the toast popping up. And obviously I think that it's definitely very hard to create shots and montages for documentaries. It's a hard line to cross in creating something that represents actuality, as well as creating a montage that you've edited and you've taken a lot of thought with. So getting my head around that is very difficult. The end of my documentary following the toast scene, I wanted to definitely just get my point across that I was trying to create emotion and trying to create a text that conveyed drama, and left the audience feeling something without actually having any dialogue. So I definitely relied on just using the soundtrack and just conveying a very sad, powerful shot. Having the final shot mirror the first shot of the documentary was definitely very important to me, because I wanted it to represent how the day in the life, although that was for that individual day, it's quite repetitive,